Hi, everyone. So, has anybody been watching the Paralympics? Because that shit is cool. I am learning so many different sports I had no idea existed. Like goalball, I think that's the name of one of them, where people are blindfolded and trying to score. I don't know how to explain these sports, but it is so cool. You're blind and you're having to block goals and throw the ball to try to get it into somebody else's goal thing. And then there's sit down volleyball. That is super fucking cool. Like and the wheelchair basketball. This stuff is so cool. I have no idea how people are able to build the upper body strength that they can to be able to hit a volleyball from a sitting position all the way over to the other side, and then this wheelchair basketball, how people can just do all of that in the wheelchair. That is so cool. Oh my god, I've been down. I was like, oh fuck the Olympics, now we got the Paralympics. These are way better, and I don't know, I'm having a good time all by myself. Oh my god, I can't believe I haven't heard of these sports before or watched them, and now it's turning into a bit of a special interest. I saw something called blind soccer. I don't even know if they're doing that for the Paralympics, or I haven't seen anything yet about a soccer stuff, so I have to go look at that because I want to see how do you play blind soccer. This stuff is so cool. I can't even imagine the kind you take away one sense, for the goal ball game, you take away the sight. And some people are actually blind, other people have varying levels of vision, but you take that away completely, whether by choice or not. I don't mean to sound like a dick. And then all of your other senses are heightened. Like I don't know, that must be so cool. And I feel like I sound very ignorant, and I don't know. I'm not saying it's cool to be blind. I'm just saying it's really cool how like the mind and the body adapt. When you don't have access to something, you make up for it in other ways or senses or whatever. And it's so cool, the things that people can do. I can't even believe it. Um, I was watching the swimming too. Oh my God. What the fuck? I mean, this stuff is so cool. I have just been down a Paralympics hole for days. I'm still doing other things, but I've got something on, some sort of a game or match or something. Anyways, if you have not seen the Paralympics, you should check that shit out. It is so cool. Um, so today's episode is about social interaction. Boo. And I am finding that it's hard on all levels for me. I can't even talk to kids, but I'll get into that in a bit. But yeah, I mean, sometimes I think I'm good at socializing if it's with people that are kind of like me, quirky or weird or whatever. Not weird, in a bad way. Weird is a good label for me. Um, and then you think you're doing good, and then you're wondering, am I? So, my socializing, even when I was in the traditional workforce and I had to talk with people every day, all the time, talk, 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 talk. That's all I fucking did. I mean, I did one of my jobs that I did for several years, but that was the only one. And I was good enough to pass as quote normal or whatever definition fuckers like to give that name. I was really good at masking, and yeah, socializing was hard, but when you have to do it every single day all throughout the day, you just kind of get used to it in some weird way. Even though I never liked it. I only liked it when I was working with clients, but coworkers, no. Um And so I thought, okay, I haven't been out in the traditional workforce for years. I haven't had to talk to really anybody unless I really want to. And my social skills still kind of suck. So I don't know that this is ever going to get better because I've had years to try to perfect this. And you know what? I'm sorry, but for me, like masking never really 100%. Well, yeah, it just not even 80%, like maybe 70. That's how good I was in social interactions, like from the outside. But anyways, so like we've got our new baby Philemon, our new little kitty that I am obsessed with. And he had his first appointment yesterday at the vet. And and our vet is autistic. He doesn't know it, I don't think, but he is. And so I bring him there, and everybody falls in love with him. Like, how could you not? He is such a cutie. And I was the first one there. Like, Alicia made the appointment for 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, do you know what time I wake up? Like 9 o'clock? No. But I got up because I had, I wanted to bring the baby, and um maybe I should back up a little bit. Like, this does have to do with socializing, but some of it doesn't. So like, I can't stop preparing for worst case scenarios, and I don't know what to do about this. I don't know how to get it out of my brain to make my brain stop doing this, but um like we get Phil, and I just go to like, okay, don't get too attached because like you could bring him to the vet and they'll be like, oh, nope, he's got feline leukemia. He's not going to last. So like I'm bracing myself like legitimately for this kind of information because I'm watching the vet very, very thoroughly, like go through this kitten's body, like, do all the things that you're supposed to do to check him out. And I'm just waiting, like, okay, he's going to say, nope, this one's not going to live for much longer or I don't know. But like the good news is I kept all of those thoughts to myself for once because I was by myself. So I don't even have like Alicia for backup support. It's just me. I can't hide behind her. So like I at least am aware that like maybe I shouldn't open my mouth at some points. Because I don't want to sit there and be like, oh good, I thought for sure you were gonna tell me that he was gonna die. Like who wants to say that or hear that? But anyways, none of that happened. And so that was nice. He had a good visit. He seems healthy. And it's not gonna stop me from like worst case scenario thinking, like, what is this? And it's like always centered around death. And I know it like feels so selfish. It's like because I don't want these things that I love to die. Not things, but you know what I mean. Anyways, that's like a whole other episode. What was I talking about? I brought him to the vet. Oh yes. And so it's just me there, right? In the morning, I'm like the first person, and just me in Phil. And you've got the vet and his two assistants, and one of the assistants brought her granddaughter. And they were passing Phil around, and I have never seen a kitten just I've never seen a cat, like, let alone a kitten, just be okay with like being passed around, being like kissed and like talked to. I didn't care what they did because they're good over there. Like, they're good people. They know what they're doing with animals. And, like if I worked at a vet's office, I would totally want to just like play with like kittens and puppies all day. So I didn't care. Um, and, it's weird to feel a kind of pride over a living thing that you had nothing to do with. Like, even the ones that you do have something to do with, like people who pop out babies and you hear compliments like, oh, your kid's so well behaved, and like the parents feel good about that. I understand that because they did have a role in that. But at the same time, like, it's just weird when people are like, oh, he's so cute and well behaved. Like, am I supposed to say thank you? Like, I can't help that he looks like that. I had nothing to do with it. And this cat, oh my God. I think this episode is just about cats and like chats or something. I don't know. But like this cat is so fucking smart. 2.5 months old. He, it's just fascinating to watch such a young animal make so much sense of the world around him so quickly. Like, he's good with socializing with the cats here at the house that still are not 100%. Like, they still haven't cuddled up to him yet, but they're so close every day. So close, but he's biding his time, being patient. He's respecting social rules. Like, the only other kitten I can think of in recent times to compare him to is Morpheus. That was several years ago, and Morpheus was fucking feral as shit. He was a dick, no social skills, just did not know how to exist. And I can't believe, like, he's turned into, like, he was just a crazy little baby. He was everywhere. Like, this cat that we have now, this kitten, is like the complete opposite. It's crazy. And so they send me into like the back room, like one of the rooms you bring the animals in, to fill out the little bit of paperwork that there is to fill out on this new little guy. And I thought to myself, I've never been sent to the room without the animal. They kept him up front, like they were doing, I don't know what I thought they were doing. But they kept him and they sent me back there and I'm like, okay. And then I started like hearing them. I know, oops, sorry if I got too close to the mic. Bitchy, come on. Sorry. I'm feeling left out because I'm not talking about you. I love you too. But anyways, they sent me back there to fill out this paperwork and I'm like, this is weird. And I could hear them like, okay, um, he's back there. Take him out now. And I think they were doing it like loud enough for me to hear, like it was a joke. But I was like, I can hear you. Um, you're not stealing my baby. And but I did worry for like 5 seconds that maybe they would steal my baby. But I thought it was weird that I got sent back there and they did that on purpose so they could have more time with him. I'm like, you just gotta ask. Like, I know that I'm leaving with that cat. Like, I don't fucking care. I don't even know if I should have said any of that. That makes like that's not relevant to this episode whatsoever. But anyways, I'm just happy that they liked him. I'm happy that he was a nice little kitty and made a good impression. And I don't know why that should matter to me because I'm not responsible for how kitten. Yeah, I am, I guess, a little bit. I don't know. This was dumb to say. But I don't know how to edit, so oops. But anyways, so he's there, right? And I'm pretty sure everybody in that vet clinic is autistic. I mean, I get them. They feel like my people, but I have a hard time socializing even with my people. I don't know how to just hold up conversations. Like, one of them, I don't, it's just like, I feel like I have to respond to I don't know. It was hard to have a conversation with them yesterday because they were all over the place. Like, one of them was talking about some like big ass cat breed and was telling me like, don't ever bring that cat in here. Don't get a cat like that because I don't ever want to have that huge cat in this vet clinic. And I'm like, why are you telling me this? And then like the granddaughter, she's like the only sane one of the bunch. She's just sitting there putting Phil and talking to him and she's in her own little world. And then like the other assistant, she's like talking to me about, I don't even know, they're both talking to me and they both don't even realize that they're both talking to me and having separate conversations. Like, it was hard. I didn't know what to do and I don't even remember what I did some of the time. But anyways, I felt super awkward, especially when like at the end I was sitting out in the waiting room with Phil and I was waiting to pay and one of the guys was like, "Hey, um are you ready?" or something. And I was just like, "Are you talking to me?" And like this waiting room is like the size of a prison cell, I would assume. It's so tiny. There was nobody out there but me. I knew this, but I still was like, are you talking to me? Because if you're not looking directly at me, I have no idea if it's me, in fact, that you're referring to. I've made that mistake before. People saying something and I thought it was directed toward me and they were not even looking at me and it wasn't for me and I felt embarrassed that I responded. So like unless somebody's looking directly at me, like I probably will just be like, "Are you talking to me?" or 'cause it's embarrassing. Um but anyways, yeah, I don't know that I did so well socially there. But do you know what the vet said? He said that Phil was inner directed and called him observant. It was fucking hilarious. And I was like, I didn't say anything to the vet about what kind of a cat Phil is becoming because he seems like a very old soul in that tiny little body. And the vet is just like, yep, he's inner directed. and you're a wise little kitty, aren't you? And I'm like, oh my God, yes. That's why I named him that. Because it just seems like he might turn into that kind of a kitty. Like, I gotta stop talking about that fucking cat. But, I was nice to Dr. Baumgartner is not usually in that good of a mood. Um, Not that he's in a bad mood, but I don't know how else to say it. But it was so like I was like, oh, I can't believe you're saying those things about him. Like that's so nice. I gotta move on. Like I don't know what I'm doing here. But anyways, I just wanted to say, 99% sure that they are all autistic, and I am 100% sure that I still don't know how to fucking socialize. And I guess I'm gonna have to be okay with that. And so like now let's turn to my 11-year-old niece who's also autistic. Um, so like I'm sitting in my room. I think I might have mentioned this before. I don't remember. Like I'm sitting back here, I was doing work or something, and then all of a sudden she calls me. And so just for context, like these are all like sorry, I'm having a hard time talking. Um I didn't think I had a relationship with like my nieces because like the short version is like Alicia's family is crazy. Like her mom is just not a good mom. Her dad is a fucking asshole and she hasn't talked to him in years. And her stepdad, like, I don't know why he's still alive. He should have been dead so many times before, whether it was like his own bad health choices or like somebody like Alicia's mom killing him. I don't know. That dude's so miserable. Why did miserable fucks stay alive for years? I hate that man. Oh, he's evil. I remember. That's another episode. Anyways, the only people I find sane in her family are her siblings, and so like especially her sister. Her sister is sane, not like the rest of the family. And I like her kids, but like I don't like kids enough to like want to have a relationship with them. And I think that kind of sounds like ridiculous or maybe mean, but like I've never been interested in like any of the children in my wife's family because the siblings like there's so many kids and some of them have different like parents and I can't keep them all together and like I'm not even trying to be like rude or funny. Like I really can't like there was like a recent one that was born like this year or last year. I can't keep up with the fucking babies that her siblings are having. And so I'm like, it's too many kids, man. That's too many Christmas presents. And like, that's also too many children to go talk to. Like, she likes to go down and visit like a normal person would. They would like to visit like some of their family members that aren't crazy. And in the past, I've just kind of not gone a whole lot because the kids scare me. I don't know how to interact with kids. Um, so like I just kind of had it in my mind that like, okay, I'm just like there. I'm just kind of like part of her family, kind of a given. Um, so I didn't think that the kids really wanted anything to do with me. Probably because I didn't want anything to do with I don't know. I just figured what could I possibly have to offer these children? I don't know how to talk to kids. Anyways, so she calls me and she's never called my phone before. Like we've only texted a couple times and I didn't even know how to do that properly. And so of course I answered the phone and I was like, "Oh my God, is somebody dying?" And it turns out she just called to talk to me. I'm like, "What?" Like, why do they like me? I don't know. It was weird. And she's like, no, I just wanted to call and, she's telling me about all these different things going on in like her life. And, it was interesting to listen to and stuff. I don't really have a whole lot to offer conversation wise. I don't feel like I just do the same shit over every day. And I don't feel that an 11-year-old would find that, oops, sorry. Just trying to feel. I don't think an 11-year-old would find what I have to say or not say like very interesting. Um, but anyways, it turned into like an hour and I'm like, "Oh my God, like this is unusual." Um, I felt trapped on the phone. This is horrible. I was like, "Oh my God, like I don't want to have this conversation. I don't even know like I'm not good at talking. I'm confused why she even wants to talk to me. Like I don't know if I'm even making any sense. I just feel like I'm just saying things that are just coming like I'm just sorry. Nonsense, just nonsense today. But anyways, I asked her, I was like, "How come you called me?" And she's like, "Oh, like I just wanted to see how you're doing and like um I really don't remember what else she said because was still trying to process the whole conversation. And then it got kind of quiet after a while. And then I was just like, you know what? There's no sense in me trying to fake it with a kid. So I just told her, like, look, I'm 41 and I still don't know how to like have conversations. Like, I don't know how to end them. I don't know how to keep them going sometimes. And I just told this 11-year-old that. And, she goes, Yeah, me too. I was like, okay. So then it was just quiet. And awkward a little bit. Like, how am I struggling to talk to somebody who's only been alive for 11 damn years? I don't understand. Like, I always thought talking to kids was like pretty easy. And you know what? It is until their brains start growing and more things come out of their mouth. Like, kids are fucking smart these days. I don't remember people, like, I don't remember when I was a kid, I thought we were all dumb, myself included. I thought we were just dumb. Like, at 11 years old, I was not having full-on conversations with, like, adults or really anybody, like, I don't know, it's just, like, so interesting because I see, like, the children in her family, like, some of them are just, like, feral, no offense. Alicia would agree, like, there's one of them that we call Animal because that's another story, it's rude, but whatever. Like, that kid is like an animal, but anyways, I need to stop talking soon. Um, I struggle to know what to do with an 11-year-old now. So she had mentioned, like, I would like to talk to you more often. And so I asked her, I was like, do I just call you? Like, it's embarrassing that I'm even saying this, but like, I was asking, like, do I call you? Because when somebody calls me directly, I don't like it. I didn't tell her that because I don't want to hurt her feelings. And it's not that I didn't like that she called. I was just very surprised. But like in general, I don't like it when just people call me because I 99% of the time don't pick up. I just ignore it and listen to the voicemail or read the text later when I have the time to do so and the mental capacity to, like, so she's like, yeah, you can call me anytime. I'm like, okay, because that seems invasive to me to just pick up the phone and dial somebody and then they're expected to answer, maybe. I don't know. I've always had a weird relationship with like the telephone. Ew, the telephone. I'm old. The phone. But yeah, and so texting, like I just was like, oh, let me like text her and ask how her day's going and like what has she been doing? And I'm getting like one or two word responses back. And then I was like, let me try something different. And so, I was like showing interest in like the things that she likes, and I wasn't getting much back. And like I'm sitting here creating a story in my head about an 11-year-old being annoyed with me. And I wrote this whole story in my head. I should have published it. I don't know what I would have called it, like awkward conversations with an 11-year-old. I don't know. But I don't know how to text apparently. And like I'm talking to Alicia about this as if my niece is like an adult. And I was talking to Alicia, I'm like, I don't understand why she says that she wants to like talk to me and tell me things or whatever. But then when I go to like even text her, and she's texted like quite a bit before, so I know that she likes to text. And I told Alicia like she's not even really saying anything. Like, what am I doing? And Alicia's like, you're not doing anything wrong. She's 11. Like, think back to when you were 11. Did you have a whole lot to say sometimes? Especially to like adults. And I was like, no, not nice things, anyways. Anybody else struggle with this who doesn't have kids? Because I just assume parents, you have to know how to talk to kids if you're a parent, I assume. Um, that's really all I have to say about that. I guess the point of this episode was to just remind everybody that I am still not good at socializing. And also, if you're not, that's okay. I don't know any autistic person that has said that socializing is very easy for them to do. And I really want to meet any of you that find it easy to do. Um, because it's just so confusing to me. And I'm over here like not anymore, but like, um like a few days ago I was like, how do I not know how to talk to a kid? And then I'm like, is it really that much? Does it matter that much? It doesn't really matter that much. Like, we're all awkward. It's whatever. But, yeah, I was kind of just I was surprised that I couldn't maintain a conversation with an 11-year-old. I don't know how to interact with kids, and I wouldn't even say that, like I mean, this 11-year-old, she might as well be 20 because she's like a little adult in this body. She's so smart. I could go on and on about this kid, like, this is the kid I know I've said this before, like, when Alicia and I first met and we started seeing each other, her sister had just had this kid. We call her MJ because that's her name. And I remember seeing MJ for the first time and then her little like she was only like a few months old. I remember thinking this baby is so special because she was making eye contact with me. Like I it was so weird. And I had been around a lot of babies, not on purpose or by choice. It just happened. I've been around babies, like quite a few of them, and they don't seem this smart. And I remember telling Alicia, like, this is a special baby. Like, I didn't know what autism was. Nothing. I just remember feeling like she's going to make something of herself, like this is going to be a really important person in this world. And, she's 11. 11 years later, the stuff that, like, she's into engineering, she likes to build things, like, she's crazy smart. And I just can't help but be like, you know what? I told you. And you wait another, like, 5 or 6 years, like, she could make the family rich. Like, who knows? She could be a well-known somebody, like, I should be the next Simon Cowell. I can spot talent, like, 11 years early. I gotta go. So this episode, I don't know. 26 minutes. I definitely have to end this. I really hope that this episode wasn't too terrible. I believe I was all over the place. I don't know why I like to wrap up my episodes by explaining how terrible I thought they were, but whatever. I hope you were able to relate. Um you know what? Also, like just really quick, I just found out from somebody yesterday that there is such a thing as autistic people never ever having to mask. That blew my mind. I mean, maybe this is probably something that like you've known about for a long time, but like I have never since I found out about the autism, I have never stopped to consider the fact that there's people who have never had to mask because the person was like, I wouldn't even know. She's like, I tried to, but it didn't go well. And I'm like, wow, why have I never considered that? Um, So I'm learning more about that. It is very fascinating to me because how freeing must that be to have never had to mask? I can't even comprehend what that must be like. So if there's anybody out there that hasn't had to mask, I really would like to understand more just because I'm curious and I want to learn. Um, I think there was another question I was going to ask and I forgot what that was. So that's my cue to end this episode. Thank you for listening. I hope this was relatable. I have a Substack. There's a bunch of us over there. Come over, say hi. Maybe do some writing of your own. I would like to read stuff that you write. Whoever you are that's listening, go write some stuff so I can read it because we're autistic. We all have a lot of good shit to say. We need to get that shit out there. I'm going to stop talking. Goodbye. Thank you for listening. Okay, goodbye. Sorry for however this sounded. Okay.